Hey, it's me, Bria, coming back at you with another helpful voice video. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a speech pathologist, I'm not a speech therapist, I'm not a trained medical professional of any kind. I'm just a trans girl who learned how to change her voice, and this is the method that I used, is all laid out here. But, in doing that, it takes a lot of practice to get there, but you can't train for too long. Don't train for more than an hour at a time. Listen to your body. If you feel pain or discomfort, maybe seek out a medical professional if that continues, because there could be something serious going on. I don't know. By watching this video, you are in fact signing a legal document that says, no, I will not sue Bria because I spent too much time voice training, even though she told me not to train for too long. Okay? Good. Quick disclaimer. In this video, I will be talking somewhat irreverently about gendered expectations around speech and voices. Most people watching these videos and doing this training seem to be looking for advice on how to make their voices fall in line with the typical expectations of cis womanhood, perhaps so that they might be read as cis women when they speak. So that's what I'm focusing on in this video. But please, do not confuse this for me endorsing gender norms or gender essentialism of any kind. Passing is a problematic concept, voice is highly personal, and I believe people should have room to explore and play with their personal presentation as much as they feel like. If going against the concepts I lay out in this video gives you that sweet, sweet gender euphoria, I say all the more power to you. So people always be writing to me, Dear Bria, I need to do more feminine speech patterns. I do lots of high pitch, but it still don't sound like a girl. What do? And yep, that's a common one. We go over a lot of the basics on this channel. We're just learning like the basics of like how to get stronger, how to raise your pitch, the kind of underlying principles of like getting your voice to a place where you want it to be. But like, what do you do once you actually get it up there? Once you've got the pitch, how do you talk like a girl? Well, all I'm doing, of course, is the blending between the pinchy and the breathy. That's what makes my voice sound pretty. But the way I use that pretty voice isn't just speaking at the highest pitch I can handle all the time, which, by the way, is not this, but it would be very hard to handle that. I'm not gonna, like if I was up here and I was speaking really high all the time, it would sound weird and unnatural. You can't be up there. It's impossible, and you sound goofy. Have you ever heard a cis woman speak? Even the really high-pitched ones, they ain't up in their highest pitch all the time. You gotta have somewhere to go. You need to be able to move around because unlike men, you don't have to do anything. Women are expected to do a bunch of extra stuff as usual. And so when we speak, we actually are expected to vary our pitch and change what we're doing with our words, kind of like how we're expected to change our outfits and styles and keep up to date with all kinds of other stuff. So we can't get away with being monotone. Like guys can just get away with just kind of speaking at the same level all the time and never really changing, and they get to speak fast and they can kind of even slur their words all together and not even really have to pronounce their words well. Like we don't get to do that. Like if you want to have a feminine sounding voice, you have to almost do like the opposite of what guys are doing, which of course is high up in the face, not deep in the chest, and not monotone, but moving all around. The final thing you got to do, of course, is don't slur your words. You need to enunciate. You will benefit from practicing speaking every individual syllable of every individual word you speak. Not only will that help you get the pitch you want on it, you're going to develop complete and total control over your voice at any given syllable of any given word or sound you make, but also feminine voices, they tend to just enunciate more. So first thing, enunciation. Practice that. Practice enunciating all your syllables. When you've done that, then we can talk about the main point of this video, which is the modulating pitch. Going up and down and moving all around. We got to tell a little story. We got to worry about people's feelings. Women are expected to take care of people's feelings in a way that men are not expected typically to take care of people's feelings. So when we speak, we got to take people for a little ride. We got to tell a little story. We have to figure out what is the important point of the thing that we're saying and then emphasize that point with pitch, not with volume. Again, men, I don't mean to dunk on men too much, but when they emphasize a point, they emphasize it louder. They just have to make the point louder, and I guess you have to listen to them now or whatever, right? Whereas women, we're not supposed to be loud. We have to be little and dainty or whatever. And when we emphasize a point, we, instead of going loud, go higher, right? And that way it kind of, I don't know, cuts down to the heart of the matter, just knocks the person out of whatever stupor they're in because they're looking at your tits or whatever misogynistic thing. And then they listen to you a little more, hopefully. Or, you know, if they're not a misogynist, then they just like it that you made a nice sound, and so they want to listen to you more. Either way, you got to learn how to emphasize with pitch, not volume. So how do you do that? Well, the very first point I would think of with that is glissando and creaky-door. These are the two primary techniques, which are really two sides of the same coin, and we'll be putting that shit on everything. You're going to practice doing glissandos and creaky-doors on every conceivable sound you can think of. Your vowel sounds, your consonant sounds, words, sentences, individual syllables within those words and sentences. Do a glissando and a creaky-door on everything and challenge it. You got to challenge going higher and higher. For the unfamiliar, if you don't know what a glissando is, you should probably go watch a bunch of my other videos if you don't. But if you don't, it's starting somewhere, going up higher in pitch, and then coming back down to where you started. Ha. Typically, a glissando, it can be with anything. Like anything can be a glissando, but for the purposes today, we're going to be thinking of glissandos on the softer end of things, the breathier side of voice. So this technique can also be thought of as the whisper siren that other teachers refer to. It's a soft, airy, light sound that you're practicing moving around in pitch with. Ha. If you can smoothly move around in pitch, it's going to be a whole lot easier to change your pitch on the fly and to emphasize pitch mid-word even, to play with how you say in any individual word. You can smoothly move around and do all kinds of different stuff with your pitch if you're practicing that, right? So glissando, that's the soft end. Creaky-door, that's the tight end. That's the start low, go high, come back down again. If you can do that, the creaky-door, going from the creak up into the squeak and then back down to creak, do that on everything, every sound, syllable, sentence, word you can think of. Well, now you're sitting pretty. Now you know how to change your pitch in different voice modes throughout everything. If you want, you can do the secret third method, which is the two put together. That's the half pinchy, half breathy. You can also do and as I said, those techniques, the different glissandos, creaky-doors and stuff, we talk about that a lot in other videos. So you can go check that out more if you don't understand how to do this. Honestly, this video might be too advanced for you if you don't know what these techniques are. But go do that and then come back and then we'll talk more. Yeah? Okay. So you've done your glissandos. You know how to do them really well. You've done your creaky-doors. You know how to do them really well. Now what do you do? Now what you got to do is you got to practice emphasizing those different words. So, you know, we've been practicing moving, but often when we practice speaking sentences, we think of them like in a more simplified form, like you're just seeing it monotone. I know. I was just saying don't do it monotone. Don't speak monotone. That's not a feminine way of speaking. But when we practice, there's a difference between speaking and training, right? Speaking is a natural human voice. Training is weird, goofy stuff to achieve a specific effect with your voice. So when we practice our speech, often we're doing things in a monotone, like you get up high, you do a scale to get up somewhere and then you maintain it. So like, ha, 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 ha. This is the voice I want to use. Oh, that's pretty good. I got up high, but obviously that's monotone. That's not a natural way of speaking. So what we're going to do is we're not going to go up high and maintain it the whole way. We're going to say it kind of in the middle, kind of normal. And then we're going to emphasize different points of the sentence with pitch. You're going to go higher. So you go like, this is the voice I want to use. This is the voice I want to use. This is the voice I want to use. Yeah? Okay? You go through every word in any given sentence. You can use the Harvard sentences. You can read paragraphs off Wikipedia. Anything. Doesn't matter. You're going to emphasize different words in this kind of basic, flat way of speaking, but emphasizing with pitch. And you're going to do that on breathy, and you're going to do it on pinchy. This is the voice I want to use. This is the voice I want to use. You know, like that pinchy, tight, you're going to learn how to do that too. You're going to do it with creaky door and glissando. You're going to go, this is the voice I want to use. Yeah. You can emphasize it doing glissando. This is the voice It's artificial. I know it's not real speech, but you're training yourself to move and to go higher and then come back down in a controlled, scientific manner. Yeah? So I recommend practicing emphasizing with pitch on different sentences, first with breathy, then with pinchy, then with creaky door, then with your blended voice. That is blending from breathy to pinchy. So like, this is the voice, right? Blended. And then you do fast blended. That's another technique. It takes a little bit to explain. I talk a little bit more about it in another video, and I'll make another video yet where I explain it even further, I think. But it's basically that blended voice, but faster. This is the voice I want to use. That's all I'm doing, by the way. It's just a blend between pinchy and breathy done very quickly. And then when I add in pitch emphasis and shifting around, now that's sounding like a real human voice. So you go, this is the voice I want to use. This is the voice I want to use. Like, you just go through it piece by piece, learn how to emphasize different words in your fast blended voice. Now you're getting into natural speech territory, yeah? So once you can do that, then it's just kind of a matter of reading it in your voice, because at this point, your voice is that. Your voice is a very fast blend between pinchy and breathy that moves around in pitch. So you could just practice that by reading out a sentence and trying to emphasize things in a more natural way. So like, this is the voice I want to use. This is the voice I want to use. This is the voice I want to use. Like, that's it. That's all you do. Start on breathy, go through emphasizing different words with pitch, go to pinchy, emphasize different words with pitch, go to creaky door, emphasize different words with pitch, go to a slow blended voice, emphasize different words with pitch, go to a fast blended voice, emphasize different words with pitch, and then go to your natural trained voice, emphasize different words with pitch. And, you know, I'm laying it out here very simply, but like, obviously this is going to take some time. You're going to have to practice this for probably a few months. And it's going to be very frustrating, especially getting up into those higher tiers of pitch. Check out my previous video on raising your average and maximum pitch. Is really going to help you with this. This is kind of like a sequel video to that, if anything. But you're going to have to practice it. You're going to have to get a feel for like how to turn that fast blended voice into a more natural voice for you. And that's going to what this does for you. You're going to be reading sentences, you're going to be speaking things out loud, and you're going to be practicing moving around in pitch, just getting used to shifting that natural voice into higher or lower, tighter or softer, whatever fits the situation or whatever fits your personality. And like I'd said, like, think of this as like telling a story. Think of this as like taking somebody for a little ride, a little trip. You want to hold somebody's hand. Women, we got to take care of people's feelings. So when you're telling somebody a story, when you're speaking a sentence to them, take them for a little journey. Show them what is important in the sentence by doing a slightly higher pitch sound when you say that word. That's really mostly it. Another little quick point is Don't finish on a low note. Try to finish on a high note. More feminine voices tend to go up a little bit at the end. Don't do it too much or you're going to sound kind of annoying. You're going to sound like a teenage girl and people are going to be like, what are you doing? You're 40 years old. So, be aware of that, but definitely don't go down. Don't just speak going down. Don't get lazy and fall down. No, you got to stay, first of all, upright, tits out, chin up. Come on, have confidence. And don't go down, go up or neutral. But do move around in the sentence. Yeah? If for whatever reason it's not hitting, like you're trying to get your trained voice to come together, go back to basics. Don't be afraid to go back to that basic pinchy, basic breathy, all that stuff. Just never be afraid to go back down to somewhere else. And there's no shame in it. It is really important to practice shifting between all the different things, pinchy to breathy, breathy to pinchy, high to low, low to high. Practice long, slow, drawn out transitions. That's going to give you good training effect. It's going to give you that control, that stability. That's going to make it easier for you to have control over your voice, but also train those fast transitions, suddenly shifting between one and the other. That's for real life. Like I said, voice is all about fast, sudden transitions. So obviously you need to be able to make fast, sudden transitions. So slow for training, fast also for training, but real life, if that makes sense. Sure, I'm sure it does. It must. And one final thing I think to be really aware of is our instincts hold us back from expressing ourselves, fully. Like we go through our lives in the closet. We're not encouraged to express ourselves with pitch. Pitch is often an expression of weakness for, more masculine coded individuals. We have a lot of time that we need to undo. We need to undo all that training that we went through of not being allowed to express ourselves. So you're probably going to have to overcome some instincts that you have. And chances are you've already overcome some of them just by doing voice training at all. But you may find yourself being held back by, years of ingrained trainings telling you, no, you're not allowed to express yourself with pitch. No, you're not allowed to emphasize that by going higher up. You got to let go of that. Let yourself have fun. Just like you're telling a story and taking other people for a ride, you need to let yourself go for a ride. You are having fun on this sentence. You are having fun in the story that you're telling. You're living it. You're feeling it. Let yourself feel. And if you can feel it, it'll come through in your voice and the other people will feel it too. So this is a kind of a complex issue. I think I've laid out basically what you need to be doing. There's a lot of advanced techniques that this is resting on. If you don't understand any given thing in this video, go check out the other videos. You can go check out videos on breathy, pinchy, creaky door, blending, all that stuff. We got other videos talking about that. This is just putting it all together. It's really the hardest part is putting it all together. So I do empathize with you. If you're having a lot of difficulty with this specific stage of training, for sure, a lot of people do have difficulty here. I do actually offer voice lessons currently. I recommend trying to work things out on your own before coming to me for lessons because none of this is going to have any success without you training. But if you are getting stuck, if this isn't clicking for you, come to me. I'll try to help you out. Send me an email at lifeofbria@gmail.com and we can do lessons. They're Thursdays is when I do lessons. They're $60 an hour. So you can send me that message if you want. If you like the video, hit like on it. If you like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so you hear the little, I don't know if it gives you a tone or whatever, but it tells you. It's going to tell you when I make a new video. And leave a comment. It actually really helps me to know what people are interested in, what is helpful, what's not helpful, what people need further clarification on. And I really like reading nice comments. It makes me feel good. So leave a nice comment that says hi to me and it'll make me smile and, keep me going for another day. And if you really want to support me, you can sign up on the Patreon, patreon.com/lifeofbria. All these videos are free. Voice training is always going to be free. What you see is what you get. I'm not hiding anything from you. I'm not hiding behind a paywall. All my voice knowledge is coming out into the world for free for you. That takes time. That takes effort. I have a human physical body that needs to eat or I will die. I need to pay my rent or I will die of exposure. So I need money at some point. You want to support me that? Patreon.com. You get on the Discord. You can hang out with me. I'll give you feedback on your voice. You get to see weird secret stuff I'm working on. It's great. You don't want to do Patreon? Then you can just give me a one-time donation. Ko-fi.com/lifeofbria. Send me some money. It's great. It's a nice little way to support somebody who's doing stuff that you care about and is helping you out. And you can just show them a little token of appreciation. Keeps them going. Buy a coffee or whatever. I don't know. But yeah. Be good. Keep training. Don't give up. And never forget, you are in charge of other people's feelings as a woman, and you have to take them for a little ride. Otherwise, they will think you're boring. It's not fair. It sucks, actually.